title, isn't it? Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the West Country, to the home of Dings Crusaders and to Shaftesbury Park. We are also in Bear Country, of course, with Dave Ward's Bristol side playing here in the PWR when they're not given the keys to Ashton Gate. But this afternoon, it's the adopted home of the England women's under-20s side. Not fully bloomed Red Roses at this stage, but certainly more than seeds, as these young women get a real taste of what life is like in an international environment in their growth as improving players. Their opponents this afternoon haven't had to travel too far over the border as the old enemy in Wales get set for their first hit out of the season as preparations continue ahead of a Six Nations competition coming up in the summer. More news of which we expect to hear soon. Having beaten the Army in March in a first meeting in 5 years, it was a rather more sobering result for LJ Lewis's England side in Rouen a fortnight ago. Not sure what the French is for a spanking, but it was duly handed out by their impressive outfit, so it's been a real case of regrouping and refocusing for England over the past couple of weeks. I'm delighted to say we've a Rugby World Cup winner in our midst, ready to cast her eye over proceedings. She's had the coaching hat on with Hackney this season. Good afternoon, Kat Merchant, how are you?
I'm very well, I'm loving the sun, I'm very excited for this game.
Now, when you played, Kat, 2000s into the noughties, regional system was in relative infancy, the pathway was probably England under 19s. I mean, we now have the 18s and the 20s with England and Wales. We've had the chance to catch up with both camps this week. I mean, what stood out for you as to where the game's at now?
I think it's the professionalism of it. I think when I was doing under 19s, we certainly didn't look like the players look like now, that, you know, they've got physicality about them, and they're already, you know, on their arrival, they arrive, they're all dressed, ready to go, they're focused, and I think that support and getting them ready for senior rugby is fantastic to see.
Yeah, okay, and of course we come off the back of the Guinness Women's Six Nations. You were commentating for radio on the Grand Slam decider last week. I was over in Bordeaux. The Red Roses, triple Grand Slam winners, a sixth successive title. I mean, arguably they've invested in those age grade programmes for longer than some of their neighbours. What are they getting so right? What do other nations need to do to close the gap?
Yeah, I mean, the seniors clearly absolutely smashing it, but then you just have to, the question for me is France, how are they so dominant at under 20s but they aren't able to put that through to their seniors? So that would be a question that I'm asking, because France do seem to get it right with their 20s, but England at a senior level, clearly the pathway is just working so well to churn out these quality players. Yeah, well, we're looking forward to more of Kat's observation throughout the afternoon, but as we tick ever closer to kick-off, let's take a few moments to catch up with both coaches, England's LJ Lewis and in charge of Wales, the legend that is Lisa Burgess. Well, LJ, thanks for joining me here in the sun at Dings. How preparation's been this week?
Yeah, super positive on and off the field. Worked on our cohesion off the field with new players coming into the squad this week, and then on field it's all been about finding the ultimate competitor in the individual, and then how that looks as a team. And then the final piece for us has been our reflections as coaches around lack of physicality in both the games we've played, and we really want to show ruthlessness today, and really relish the one-on-one battles in every element of the game today.
Yeah, we can really look forward to that. I mean, in terms of those two results you've had, quite contrasting, and that heavy loss to France no doubt has given you something to reflect on over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, plenty to reflect on. The girls have all been really honest with their own reflections. You can't underestimate how important that experience is, going away to a place like France, playing the French in their home. They love their rugby. It's very vibey when you're there, and they are the ultimate competitors at this age group at the moment, and I think it's a great experience for them all. However, it's really important what we do with that result now and the learnings, and like I say, everything's kind of been underpinned around that this week, and then it's about how we get to do it again at the Six Nations, the end of our tournament, and how we take the French on in a couple of months' time and show actually we're better than that result, and we definitely are. The girls are far better than that result for sure.
Yeah, and you touched upon it there. I mean, it's a very proud day for the girls when they get to pull on the Red Rose in any form, but at this sort of level, perhaps it brings an extra bit of value in terms of their development for future careers.
Yeah, you can't underestimate how important the pathway is. The girls get great resources and support at PWR clubs. However, the pathway gives them that experience of being in camp, being away from like home, being on the road, and then also exploring different ways of playing rugby. Like they have their ways at their teams. It's how we bring all that collective together and play together under the rose. And like you say, also getting them to understand the value, the pride of putting the rose on and becoming a future red rose. So yeah, this space is so key for that.
Yeah, excellent. Well, we're looking forward to the battle this afternoon. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Well, Lisa, welcome to Bristol. The sun's shining. How's training been this week?
It's been great, actually. We've had the girls now for 10 sessions together, so I'm really excited about the opportunity today, and what a beautiful day to play rugby on as well here.
Yeah, you had the opportunity to run out against the Army about 13 days ago. How was that?
Yeah, it was really good. We had the opportunity there. We used 30 girls in that game, so we had a lot of substitutions just to give the girls opportunity to play, so that was a great run out for us. And from that now we've got a squad of 25 here, including 2 travelling reserves today.
We know today's about the under-20s, but obviously the senior Welsh women winning at the Principality has a bit of that positivity trickled down to you over the course of the week.
Yeah, I mean, the girls have been, hugely positive throughout, the time we've had them. And yeah, it was great to see the girls get a win at the Principality, a huge occasion with that record crowd as well of 10,500, which was brilliant. We were behind the girls all the way. They were just seeking that performance, and it came in that last game, which was great to see.
Yeah, and I guess being given the keys to the big house is the sort of inspiration that perhaps feeds into the girls at this level as to where they could be one day.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a huge opportunity for us to go to the stadium. We included that in part of our training as well, so the girls got to go there, see where they could be. And last night we had a shirt presentation. Cecilia Tupelotu came to do that, who's only 20 herself, so it was great to have her presenting the shirt to the girls we're going to see here on the field today.
Extraordinary, she's only 20 still, isn't it? Remarkable.
21 caps.
Yeah, crazy. What do you want to see then from your under-20s this afternoon?
So today for us it's about the performance. We've been working hard on a few things, lots of their individual skills, getting to know them together as a team. So today it's about putting that performance, getting the basics right, and then taking care of that performance, and the result will come as a result of that. So for us it's about them doing the basics well today.
Yeah, and these rivalries over the bridge, I mean, people will love to focus on wins and losses, but actually at this sort of level it's about a bit more than that, isn't it?
100%. This is our block 1 training. Like I said, we've had the girls for 10 sessions. We've got a 3-week conditioning, if you like, block coming up next, and then we're back into our block 2 training. So yeah, it's very much part of a journey, a long journey with these girls, and they're developing all the time. And to run out here and play against England, it's a great opportunity for both myself and LJ, the England coach, to look at what we've got here and all those girls that haven't made it this time. But it's a huge opportunity today to go out there and just show what they can do.
We wish you the best of luck.
Many thanks. Djokovic.
Wonderful days when you hear coaches talking about players just being given the opportunity to go out and show what they can do, and that's very much what this is all about at this level, isn't it, Kat? Because the headier days and the tighter days of competition and bigger things to fight for are to come, but actually this is where you're going to have that opportunity, that freedom.
Yeah, freedom to express themselves as players, because when you are young you're not a complete player yet by any means, so they're learning their trade, they're working it all out, both in terms of environment but actually out there on the pitch. So having coaches that allow them to play with freedom rather than play with a really strict game plan is going to be beneficial to every single player out there.
I got very excited earlier when I got to meet Lisa Burgess for the first time. Absolute legend. And I somehow managed to work in women's rugby for about 15 years and not meet her. I don't know how that happened.
I don't know, but she was saying the same about you, so there you go. yeah.
Excellent, love that. Interesting as well, the under-20s isn't that far away from senior rugby these days. It used to be that actually that leap, whether it was men's or women's senior rugby, was a lot further up. We see it sometimes in the men's game, and we're seeing it in the women's as well. I mean, likes of Gwennan Hopkins and Sian Jones, they were playing in that senior women's Wales side, and like some Molly Reardon as well, Nell Metcalf, who we've seen having brilliant games as well at Gloucester Hartpury and stepping up for Wales as well. So you get it right and you shine with the freedom here. Those calls are not that far away.
Oh, definitely, because it did used to be a huge jump back when I was playing in England under-19s. It really was your sink or swim moment. They would throw you in there with the seniors and you dealt with it or you didn't, whereas now there's sort of a gentler kind of transition into it. But I mentioned in the warm-up that they look physical. They really do look like they're already training. They've got their S&C, so again another step closer to that senior side.
Well, here come the teams then, and first of all it's going to be Wales, led out by Jenny De Vera. Played a bit of PWR before Christmas, Jenny De Vera, and was captain of the under-20s in that tour up to Canada last year. They did have a hit out against the Army a couple of weeks ago. The Welsh weren't able to come out on the right side of that one. England, of course, who also played the Army in March. It was a fairly convincing victory that day, but certainly a few of the bigger names not involved this time, and an opportunity being given to others. Some of those junior Red Roses, like Renika Bonner, Niamh Swales, Tori Sellers, Lily Ives Campion, not around today, as the two teams take their positions. Wonderfully proud days then for family and friends. England against Wales, and here are the anthems. Two anthems beautifully marked. All right then, let's have a look at the two teams then. Starting with England, the starting 15 containing 13 players who hadn't tasted any under-20s action just a few weeks ago, and includes two debutants this afternoon. Harlequins' Jessie Spurrier joins the front row, where Calladan and Williams are handed their first starts, while the five behind them in the forward pack all continue having started against France, including Gloucester Hartpury's Steph Else, who's captain. In the back's a first start for Alex Wilkinson as McDougall's moved into the 10 shirt. She occupied for much of Zoe Harrison's absence at Saracens, taking on a vice-captain role today. It's a debut for Katie Schilliker, and first starts for Morale and David. Hyatt and Green continue for a third match after featuring against the Army and then France at centre and full-back respectively. For Wales, well, Jenna De Vera continues as captain for the girls in red, with Erin Jones in the second row as vice-captain. There's a solid thread of 8 Cardiff Met players across the side, with Rosie Carr at hooker, one of those who's been in the senior women's extended squad when Kelsey Jones was unavailable. She's one of 4 over-20s in the side. In the back row, Lucy Isaac and Jess Rogers will bring that experience of having travelled to Canada last summer, while Lily Terry's a former Worcester player looking to make the most of this opportunity. In the back, Freya Bell will know a couple of the English players from her time at Horsham. Picton Powell at 13 will be hoping to kick on after injury last year, and winger Kim Thurlow was one of those on the score sheet in Ottawa last July. So all set to go then. It's going to be England who get the game going. And the kick-off from Amelia McDougall. And that will, well, bounce comfortably into touch. Give an early opportunity at the line out for Wales, but no one quite coming forward to claim it.
Yeah, nice high kick on that one, but surprised that Wales didn't get someone under it, like keen to try and to take that one, because now bounced into touch, and obviously now they're having to play from just outside their 22.
Good competition. England coming around the corner, just looking to get themselves set up. Alex Wilkinson getting in to get a first touch on the ball. Then it's coming through McDougall. That was a low one, but it was well dealt with by Millie Hyatt, who's certainly been given a few opportunities under Sean Lynn at Gloucester Hartpury. Had the opportunity to commentate on her on the PWR earlier this season. Rest of that domestic competition to conclude over the next few weeks. Little dink through, the chase being offered for Carmela Morale, and is she going to be the first to get there? Not quite. Competition was good. Wales have managed to come up with it. But again, real competition at the breakdown. Lucy Calladine looking to try and ruck her way through. Ball's just going to skip past the halfway before Leah Green can get her hands on it. Third time at 15 over this run of matches against the Army and then against France. That's what I love about these sort of age grade games, Kat Merchant. You get a lot of ball in hand time.
Yeah, definitely. Really want to see that, and they're not scared of going wide, just as they've gone here.
Yeah, Millie David. She's on one wing, Katie Schilliker on the other. I was asking them during the week as to which of them might be the more rapid, as the ball just goes forwards in the execution. Our referee, by the way, for this one is Melissa Wright, being assisted by Jenny Burrows and Casey Allen. But yeah, they weren't sure who was the quicker out of David and Schilliker, were they, in the England camp?
No, we'll have to see today and see who gets the ball in space, I think. But I like how England are trying to play. They're getting it wide. They did a little dink in behind as well to keep the Welsh defence honest and make them have to drop, so there is space out there. But clinicalness of the passing, not quite there. So just a little low or a tiny bit behind means they're not able to quite put their gas players away.
Welsh front row includes Chloe Thomas-Bradley, Wellington Under-18s Festival last year, and it's away for De Vera, the skipper, nuggety player, taking that ball up. A little bit more width on for Wales. England try and shut it down. It was Amy Williams actually up against Schilliker, as Wales do manage to find the edge. It's been certainly a real development of the women's game, the ambition to play and find a bit more width. And that's a good bit of physicality there from Thomas-Bradley. Looking to try and take them on. England putting in the tackle on Lowry Williams. Good consistency from Wales. Oh, wasn't an awful lot of room for Eleanor Heng to get going. And tackle's been deemed a little bit high.
Yeah, well, Wales had numbers there as well, so really that was that last-ditch tackle. Player had to come up to defend, so nice quick ball and hands across. And this is the first big carry in there, so made a lot of ground, and then it's how quickly they can recycle the ball.
Freya Bell. The Battle of Horsham, our old rugby club are calling it, up against Katie Schilliker and Jessie Spurrier in the England side. England need to get the numbers right. Down from Isaac, but then it's been lost in the collision. So the knock-on advantage, Steph Else is going to try and look after things from a captaincy perspective. She's done really well. Can she get the ball laid back? She certainly can. England looking to probe into the corner. That'll do very nicely. Super execution from Leah Green.
Lovely nudge, and a 50-22 at that as well. Really good. She knew she was already playing with the advantage, but the scanning there and a lovely nudge on that ball, and then a very kind bounce, but a good tactical kick there, because that's always going to roll on. So beautiful.
Such a tactical advantage, the 50-22, if you can pull it off. The kick from inside your own half that goes out in the opposition 22. And you get the put in at the line, and England now ready to break. It was Ellie Roberts initially, but it has just gone forwards in the midfield.
Both really clean line-outs that in the air. Good throw, good take, but then just a knock-on from both sides off the back of it. But that's because they're trying to play, and I think they're looking at what's coming next rather than focusing sometimes on those just basics of the catch pass.
Amelia McDougall, Oaklands College, Old Albanian, and Saracens, of course. Just looking to see a different option from the likes of Ella Cromack, Millie Hyatt as well, who can play at 10 and 12. Wales deal with that scenario well as Seren Singleton comes away with it. It's another high tackle. That one goes against Ellie Roberts. And Wales aren't going to hang around. Quick tap time from Singleton. England stay in the fight to hold on to those legs. Good brave shooting out from Joya Bennett. Carry from Isaac. And just to slip the shackles and get away. Singleton, third year at Cardiff Met. Trying to find that little bit of room on the outside as Hing comes forwards. Trying to get the timing right into Erin Jones. Played under 18s last year. She's a farmer from a farming background. That's a good carry, and that's a good support line on the shoulder from Rosie Carr with a little bit more experience, but England get themselves into the good position to get that turned over.
Yeah, really good and quick over the ball there, because Wales had done a beautiful offload to get in behind off the back of that line break, but support not able to get there quite quick enough, and England straight in with hands on the ball. Great turnover. So looking at that initial carry, and instead of going to ground, really good offload, but support just not quite quick enough to be able to get there. So done for holding on.
Steph Else bringing it down. Now England into midfield. They get the call to pull it back. This is working nicely for the under-20s, but just the outstretched arm. Leah Green was hoping she might get it, possibly one of those she actually had to let go and just see if there might have been room on the outside for the pickup.
Yeah, England there had created the gap, and it's just those tiny little things, that pass just a tiny bit too far out in front, because they've created a nice gap. Defenders turned, so really now it's a 2v1 or 3v1 even, but you've just got to get that basic, that pass to hand, because if that does, they're away, and I think England score in the corner.
And what you learn as much watching under-20s level on a day like this is also you learn the ability and execution of the senior players who can be ruthless in those situations.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, it is the difference, and I'm obsessed with this, unsurprisingly, as a winger, but a pass out in front to a winger at pace, try. A pass slightly behind them, you don't score. A pass too far in front, and actually either a knock-on or it's so it is really that important that those 2v1s are crucial.
Your Minister for 2v1s, Cat Merchant.
I am obsessed.
Caledine, Loughborough Lightning was in the Worcester group. managed to find a home in the Midlands. Released out the back, that was nice to find McDougall, and now England have a bit more room as Green takes it on, just going slightly into the space of Schilliker, who has done well to avoid the whitewash and stay in field here, and England maintain possession well through Millie David. Back in it comes, McDougall looking to feed Amelia Williams, who crashes forwards. Parents having a chat with Cat Merchant earlier on in the stands, having turned up nice and early to bag their spot. Leah Green now in the 22. Judo thrown to the floor by Erin Jones. Just slightly slowed down for England as Spurrier comes onto it. Wales trying to spoil, certainly putting suitable pressure through the breakdown. Sort of thing you might expect from one Cecilia Tui-Pelotu, who we heard from Lisa Burgess earlier was in that Wales camp helping with the shirt presentation last night. She's just 20 years of age herself. Extraordinary. Into the middle. Joya Bennett. Another one of the Saracens. This is better continuity from England. How will it go when they look to pull the trigger? Oh, it's the knock-on from Carmela Morale. And it is just proving to be those small percentage passes at the minute that are just undoing them at times.
But they're getting that structure right. They're positionally in the place they want to be. There's some really nice passes out wide. This was great, as you said, potentially running a winger out of space, but Schilliker does so well to be able to fight, turn, offload back inside so she doesn't go into touch, so the ball is kept alive, which is the important part. And they are really going from width to width, and England looking very dangerous, and you have to say, looks like they're very, very close to scoring. And it's just that last pass, last catch, which is slightly letting them down at the minute.
First year of under-20s for Carmela Morale. Has options on the kick as well. Potential triple threat in that number 12 shirt. Getting a first start of this run of games.
And I think that's what you want to do as well when you are under-20s. You don't want to just have one position. You want to be able to play a few to make sure that as you're needed and you've got your options when you go up into seniors, because so much, especially in club rugby, you might have someone else above you in that position, so being able to slot in somewhere else, really important until you make your mark on the game. Believe it or not, I was a 13 at England under-19s.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go, before I got pushed down onto the wing. Because I didn't pass.
You do surprise me. Here come Wales from the shadow of their own post, though. It's a loose pass. De Vere has offloaded it. High risk stuff here from the visitors. Oh, they get themselves a penalty, though. England not rolling away.
The third penalty England have given away in that 22 area around there. 2 high tackles and 1 they're not rolling away, so they're really letting Wales off with some pressure. So Wales in their own 5 metre are really still, they're giving those offloads away, so risky, because if England get a hand to those, they're then really into the attack. But yeah, the player gets stuck the wrong side of the ball. Wales can't play it, rightly so, called a penalty.
Another penalty for Morale. A couple of minutes she will look to put behind her. Isaac with the win. Just a little poorly positioned on the pass, but didn't need a second chance of the opportunity to carry that forwards. Good meters that time from Savannah Picton-Powell, but now it's fired back. That one has gone a little more aerial. It's going to be a challenge in that sunshine for Millie David. She's done really well. Looks to try and step through, but just met Larry Williams from North Wales, who has greeted her this afternoon in Bristol. Now, they might have a little bit more room here. Can England execute this? Little bit more width. Now the chip through. Chase is on, but actually just ended up going straight down the neck of Freya Bell, who was so well positioned. And this is going to send England all the way back to their 10-metre line to come again. McDougall. Was nearly stepped herself into trouble here. Referee Mel Wright just having a check to see that that didn't go forwards. England maintain. Just got touched on its way through. Kim Thurlow was backpedaling there, but certainly being done for pace by Schilliker on the chase through. And then it's the carry. It's Else looking to take responsibility. England penalty. And it's quick tap. Caladine stopped here in the call of no from the referee, thinking it was her.
Yeah, the attack thought she had to stop, but actually no, she was just warning Wales that they couldn't make the tackles because they weren't back 10.
Georgia Vattisil then with the next carry. Then it's Amelia Williams looking to try and carry through. Exciting prospect, started at Medway, club of a certain former England player, Rachel Burford. Tempted rip. Oh, and it's come back on the Welsh side as well. There'll be a Welsh scrum at the very least, unless they can choose to use it in terms of metres. Big dominant tackle back. They're going to look for the clearance with the kick. Advantage is called over. It's been well fielded by Leah Green, and well, advantage over might be leading to a little bit of space here for the Junior Red Roses. It's away for Bennett, cuts back in. Carr was eyeing up the turnover there, but it wasn't to be. Now it's released back, a little bit more of a chance as Morale then feeds outside for Hyatt. Wisely just chose to take another ruck there. Oh, and it's Else striding through. 4 metres out now, England. This as close as they've been all match, and there's the score. Support was solid. All about the work from Steph Else in terms of managing to do the business. Got them right up to those 4 metres out, didn't they? But Vattisil, was it?
Yeah, it was a great carry from Else, and I have to say she's reminding me very much of a young Alex Matthews in the way that she runs so hard, gets the leg drive in, and then the dummy there as well, really great to then go over, because it looked like by all accounts she was going to pass it out wide, but manages to finish herself.
Successful conversion as well.
Here's that carry, just so strong. The clear out, so important as well in all of that, because if that's not, that's a holding on, so you don't get the pick off the back of it as well. But so strong on the ground, works well to protect the ball, and then a really good finish as well.
England with the first score then, leading Wales by 7 points to 0. Had to be patient to work through it. The Welsh defence has certainly stood up pretty well for the amount of time they were in their own 22. Ball just goes over the try scorer, Vattisil. She is the tallest of the players in this side. Nice option to pass through the tackle. Oh, and then the sell of the dummy, and Morale is through, and another dummy, and when will she look for that pass? Then it flies out. It's ended up being out and in front of Schilliker, unable to take it. Just wonder, it was on, wasn't it? You wonder whether she needed to ride the tackle or not.
Oh yeah, it was absolutely on. That pass does end up going forward, but she absolutely carves her through there. We've seen her physicality so far, but now a really nice chance to see Morale's pace as she just goes through, carves through that defence. She knew it was on, I think. I don't think she could sight Schilliker out there, but wanted to give the pass anyway, but just floated away from her forward there. And there's that line break again, just scanning as well the whole time. Actually, potentially initially didn't give the pass because Wales' defence had got in the way to block it, but you have to say if that goes to hand, we'd have got a chance to see the foot race, wouldn't we? We'd have got a chance to see who's quickest.
Katie Schilliker would have loved to have been out the blocks. Nearly England building towards an immediate second score. LJ Lewis will be pleased with what she's seen, no doubt. Joined the pathway set up as an under-20s assistant coach in August 21. Taking the head coach role in July last year, LJ Lewis. Some regional under-20s camps last November for England. The first under-20s squad of the year was named mid-February, which comprised of 21 new players to the programme. Wales scrum under an awful lot of pressure, but they have managed to come away with it, and De Vera plays on for Picton Powell, who was there to partly offer support in the ruck, but then ended up being a passing option. That got touched on the way through for Wilkinson. Not a great kick, has to be said, and Else there to link again. Oh, and look at the hustling and wrestling through the tackle and the contact that we see from Millie David. Just lost the ball in the process, but it went backwards, and this is Else once more. Wales need to get a little lower in the tackle on the England captain. When I say that, they've gone upright and ripped the ball off her, so what do I know? Penalty Wales. It's another not rolling away call from our referee.
Yeah, Wales really struggling to get out of their 22. That one there, a poor kick, but we've seen two before as well, not quite making touch. But we saw earlier that Freya Bell has a real boot on her. Like, she can really get distance. We saw a great kick, so I don't know why they're not kind of setting up to then get her in place to be able to exit. But yeah, they have struggled, but penalty has got them out of some pressure, and now they're up in the 10 metre.
Haven't pointed our cameras to the left of halfway too much over the course of the game, and it's going to be one that England steal from the Welsh line out. Else. And then bit of a high shot on Spurrier. Carried really well there. That's coming to midfield. De Vera will get hold of it. But it's going against Millie Summer. Britain Thunder wider squad. Bit of a netball background as Millie Summer.
And then yeah, that's another high shot in there. So important, referee gets that right. Player safety, all the rules coming in, so England now get a chance to settle. But for Wales, they've managed to get themselves out of trouble. They get themselves out of 22, and then the line out just lets them down, and then England are straight back into this game. So we'll see the shot of the high tackle here. Yeah, can see shoulder on shoulder, so ridden up too high with that.
Yeah, it looked like she just came in under the chin there. Line out not straight though.
So from the first two line outs, so they have one each, and they were beautiful, really high, really fingertip stuff and great execution. These two, one each, have been not so good.
It'll be the Wales scrum. It's been an area of England's focus. They've worked really hard on it.
Well, the last scrum, Wales were under a huge amount of pressure. They were almost running backwards, but they managed to get it out, and that's the important part. If you can soak up that pressure but still get the ball out, you're doing well.
Well, England are getting the shove on this time. Yeah, just came straight back out, while Joya Bennett wanted to be able to play, not really able to do so from that position. It hadn't really been hooked at all, so...
Yeah, they'll reset it, so as it comes in here, it's been bounced off the second row's feet, I think, and then not come probably through, so picks up and play. Tactic in seven sometimes that the hooker will use, instead of hooking it back, will kick it forward, and then they'll just put a big chase on it. Always an interesting one.
Again, plenty of pressure on that Wales scrum, but it needed to be used, and Jess Rogers able to do so. It's good work from Amy Williams in midfield to also give them the physical platform, but now it's there for Millie David. Seem to be happy enough to play on. Battishill. Back for Green. It's a loose pass from Green. Tidied up by Morale. Hyatt. Now they'll play it on. Kick of the ball downfield. Which way's the ball going to bounce? Well, quite fortunately, from a Welsh perspective, give the chance for Bell to counter run. And a Wales penalty.
Yeah, England choosing to kick there, whereas I actually think just keep ball in hand, stretch, play through the faces. They've done some great rugby, whereas actually by kicking it away in the loose, Wales have dealt very well, and they've positioned themselves in that back three and got themselves back, so they're actually probably wasting some opportunities there.
Powell, who's looking for that far side. Didn't make touch. England keep it in. Taken in midfield. Getting the call on the shoulder from Hing. Hing sensing a gap to try and go through and got past one tackle. Wales on the edge of the 22. There's a knock-on advantage. Else gets down on the floor.
Hing's been really impressive so far. She fought earlier on and did a really good carry, punched way above her body weight, but there as well, the pace that she puts onto the ball, you can see her running and supporting. And in my head, when you're watching stuff, I was like, give her the ball, because you can see she really wanted it and does so well when she has it as well. Another good carry from her.
Voice of Cat Merchant, England Rugby World Cup winner, who is with us here at Shaftesbury Park.
And then there you go, Hing had just tracked, it was just out of vision there, but she'd been running so fast that out to inline, and then she's still fighting, takes two players to take her down, presents the ball nicely, so Wales are able to keep hold of it. So yeah, she's a sharp young talent.
Set.
Again, more movement at that scrum. England are going to get the penalty this time. They will be mighty pleased with that, given it was such an area of focus over the course of the week.
Yeah, it's been a really, really dominant scrum. There's been 3 in a row where England have been dominant. Wales have just about, though, managed to get it out, but that one deemed that they'd given the penalty away, so England now get some possession back. But they're looking so strong. Gets going. And Wales just folding there.
Good refereeing as well, because the last couple have been under similar pressure, but Wales have used it. But Mel Wright that time decreeing, well, it's not coming and you're crumbling away here, so it is going to be the penalty. There is a knock-on advantage being played, and Hing has got some early possession here and a chance to try and get going. Was tracked by Millie Hyatt. Comes out like a chocolate bar from a slot machine.
Oh, one hand to that. Yeah, I think they're going to talk here.
White 11, drop down. Penalty.
So Casey Allen, former Wasps player over on the far side, who is feeding in to our referee, and the official team working well there to make the decision.
Yeah, it looked odd at the time, because Hing again does a lovely run and gets in behind, and then they're trying to keep it alive, and then you just see Shilika's hand comes out to stop the pass, and she does look gutted. She's not trying to bite it down, she's just going for it, but you have seen times where that could look at yellow.
Didn't look like the tidiest of line-outs, but the Welsh have it. Another carry from Chloe Thomas-Bradley. Big pressure from Amelia McDougall, but she might have got out the traps a little earlier. A little early, she did, in fact. And Wales aren't going to hang around. They want to keep high tempo. They want to keep this England defence disorganised as much as they can. Another penalty, but this is turning into a few too many for England.
That's on them. Can you have a word, please? Yeah.
So given an opportunity to speak to a team to not land in on the wrong side, cynical, kind of slowing the ball down. But Wales, of course, if the last couple of lineouts haven't gone too well and their scrums are really under pressure, if they get penalties, they are going to want to go quickly, because those other set piece areas just letting them down slightly at the minute. So they're going to want to have that tempo, one, to get England moving, but for them it's their best attacking platform.
It's some of the beautiful natures of this sport, isn't it? Because you can have areas of set piece that can be so dominant, but if you're also asking questions in the loose of a team's discipline, well, then you can be getting the advantage there.
Absolutely.
And they are coming forwards again with another solid carry. Into midfield. De Vera. Ball was a little loose. They found Amy Williams on this side, who gets the call again from Eleanor Hing. Now a chance to try and go through the gap, but the ball's been knocked forward. So England have possession.
Inside, please. Thank you. Still advantage, White.
Else. It's a bit of a late call to send that back for Leah Green. I'm not sure she'll be thanking her skipper for that one. Wonder if she called it on the previous play, but that time wasn't expecting it. Either way, it's again Spurrier who manages to get through the gap and continues to drive the legs into the tackle of Rogers. Took them a while to bring down Spurrier. That was decent from the Harlequin. Can England find the width that allows Schilliker to get going? See a little bit more of her up into fourth gear that time. Then it's there for Battishill, England's try scorer. And now they come again. A nice, slightly inside line chosen by Ellie Roberts, sensing
no hands, thank you.
how she needed to get round her opposite defender. Chip through. Good goalkeeping style save from Amy Williams. She's got a footballing background. She's been transitioning over the last 2-3 seasons, but while Wales try and tidy up loose ball, it's England who get over them and win themselves the penalty as Erin Jones gets a bit of treatment.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm not sure why England kicked that away. They were a little bit too flat on it, but then kicked through. But then if you put a good pressure on and you manage to get the turnover, then you're getting that ball back in a better area. But I still think at times they could keep that more in hand. It has worked out for them because of a good chase, but they've got numbers there, they've got pace there, but not quite utilising it just yet.
Yeah, certainly the wingers have been doing well enough to step away from the whitewash and step back in field. The awareness there has been strong enough. So actually, if you can keep ball.
Yeah, back them, give them some space, because that was really nice to see Schilliker have a decent run and a bit of space, and she's gone for it there. So they're clearly wanting to have that ball in hand out wide.
I've got that 31.
But before that, Wales had a real opportunity, and it was just Jones couldn't quite keep hold of it and spilled the ball. But they were really starting to build and looking quite dangerous for the first time in this game.
Good to get water break in, I think.
Bit of tape getting onto the hand of Chloe Thomas-Bradley. Started regularly with Brython Thunder. Phil John, the Scarlets front row coach, has spent a bit of time with her. Heard news, of course, that the Celtic Challenge is going to be expanded to home and away matches from next year, or next season, which is a real benefit. Now, just a mention of the ball as well. I mean, Kat, you would have no doubt had this conversation amongst, well, probably many times in your career, and possibly from some men in bars wanting to ask you silly questions. But there is a trial with a slightly smaller ball. You can see women's trial ball written on it. It's a 4.5 size, not the full standard 5 size that the men play with and that the senior women have been playing with since time immemorial. Your thoughts on it?
Well, it seems to really divide people. Either people think it's absolutely amazing, or they think it's the worst thing in the world. I'm sort of somewhere in the middle. Like, personally, playing with a 4.5, I'd have probably quite liked. I've got small hands, able to grip. But there is something to be said that by having a size 5 ball, it's exactly the same as the men's, and it's a bit more comparable in terms of the skills. But my next question would be, does it need to be comparable, or are we just enjoying the rugby that's in front of us?
There we go.
So I'm not strongly for or against.
And the hookers will tell you it flies through the ball differently. The kickers will tell you the sweet spot is a little harder to find because it's that little bit smaller. So, yeah. But these things are being trialled, and they've certainly been spending a bit of time with the 4.5 over the course of the week in preparation. England then from the penalty. They've certainly got a decent shove on here. Momentarily looking ominous as they opt to break. Almost a moment for Alex Wilkinson to have a little snipe. It didn't feel like there was much on the outside. She had a little look through the window. Now, have Wales managed to get in a position to try and turn this over? No, still with England. Low drive.
7 not rolling.
Back an advantage being played perhaps against Isaac. England goes short again. They are under penalty advantage. They go again. Wales really do well to shut the door that time. Now they get a chance to release the backs. It's a direct line, but it's a good shutdown of Carmela Morale once again from Wales. Now a bit more width. Hyatt looking to try and use the footwork and step back in. Wall of red shirts doing a solid enough job as England go desperately close. Driving towards the line. Oh, the ball just kissing the line as we see it go over. Solid work from England's forwards to do the hard work and drive it over. And we had a perfect shot as the try was scored.
Yeah, they were working so hard to get in close enough. They were called short just moments before, but then a really strong carry there. And as you said, kiss the line. Her teammates get behind her, drive her over. Really good score.
Lucy Calladine just driving those last few inches.
And they're way harder than they look, those ones, because actually it's so easy for defenders to be able to get low or to even hold the ball up. So you've got to be so strong and have so much leg drive to actually go and to score those.
Conversion added from Leah Green. Another chance to have a little look at this one.
So short initially, and then a really good pick off the back of it and carry as well.
Been working on the throwing using the smaller balls that are being tried, and that was decent. England and their second score, 14 points to 0. Had a really dominant win against the Army, and then the Army were able to beat Wales. Question marks over how this match might turn out today. England will be delighted to have the 2 tries on the board. That was a really solid chase as well from Morale. Wales in with a wonderful steal. Just saying, nobody's going to ask a question, then we're going to get in and
Body, not ball.
grab possession for ourselves.
Leave it.
Back away to the left side, and Thomas Bradley.
Back.
Penalty Wales.
Hands in, right formed. 8
Seren
hands in.
Singleton going quickly. Gets it off to her fly half, and then De Vera, dummy on the outside and through the gap. The Wales inside centre crashing into England's 22. Can the support get there in time? Now it's played away for Erin Jones. Freya Bell crashing onto it. There again for Thomas Bradley. Good hands. Did it need to go from Hing? It could go now. It could be in the hands of Amy Williams, looking for the corner. Wales up the score. Finally the visitors have their first eye on the scoreboard. They knew where the space was, and they fully deserved it. Super score from Williams.
Yeah, all brought about from De Vera. The line break there, really, really good. And then they played it quick off the back. That offload from Hing on the floor, so important and vital to be able to go quick hands across to Williams. The cover tackle comes across, but it's just not quite enough. Wales have done enough, but what a response, and an important response as well. Beautiful pass out there. Wingers kept her, Williams has kept her whip so well. So pass has beaten the player. All she's got to do, catch and finish. So good bravery from the wing to hold her depth there, and goes over for her country.
It's a really good point, isn't it, Kat, actually, because the temptation would be to come in and get close just to get a quicker ball. But if she had done that, then it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, cover tackle would have got her. So sometimes as a wing, you know, if you've got territory to play with, then you can come tighter to give yourself enough time to get the ball, and you can arc round. But in that position, there isn't enough time. So actually the fact that Williams has held her width so well, she's trusted the passing ability on the inside, and then Hing, as you said, maybe could have got it away quicker before, but actually does really well off the ground. But that nice pass, it's just the pass has beaten the players there.
That will give the visitors a little bit of confidence now. And the offload game returns. Lucy Isaac from Gwent, second year in the 20s. She was in Canada last year. Suggestion from a certain Siobhan Lillicrap, and you'd imagine she would know that as England managed to get possession, that Lucy Isaac could have a future along the lines of Alex Callender. Fine praise indeed, but loose ball opened up for the try scorer, Amy Williams. Wondered if she might pin her ears back to that far corner, but she's got the offload away, only to Steph Else and not to Jenna De Vera, her captain. Penalty Wales.
Holding on.
Turnover penalty. You just sense the girls in the red shirts are growing into this one, Cat Merchant.
Yeah, I think just a score can do so much to lift a team, because it has been pretty close in this game. England did for a second look like they were going to run away with it, but this is a great take from Williams in the air. As you said, she might have gone for the outside, but I think she realised that she's covered. I still think she maybe could have gone for that, but steps back inside, she's looking, she's scanning. Else does really well to get back defensively, but then they win the penalty.
Bit of time for Hing to bring that down. Singleton.
Penalty high. Yeah, got the net.
England going too high again, and penalty count is stacking up against this England side, isn't it?
Well, it was something that the seniors, there was question over the discipline at the for England level, and 20s, that's 3 high tackles in one half. That's worrying.
And we've had 3 rolling away penalties at least, and a couple of others. I'd say we're pretty close to pushing to double figures on penalties if we're not already there. Haven't got the stats back up with us today, so answers on a postcard if you've been keeping tally. It's there for Singleton. Thomas Bradley. Singleton will feed Bell, who couldn't quite get it on the toe, so it's ended up being a knock-on, and it's in England possession. Back for Green. Found a good bit of open turf right at the back here. Hing, relatively casual. When's she going to press go? Now she does. Tried to get away, but the follow-up from Green was sufficient. Back in field it comes. Ball in 2 hands, all beautifully ripped away. That was really nice from Ellie Roberts, and Roberts putting England back on the front foot. Clear out was solid as well to maintain possession. Morale high, it gets there, going to have to play scrum half. Comes back in for the skipper. Helped for England on the front foot ahead of Battersil's score to break the deadlock after 17 minutes, and England could be looking towards a 3rd try as our clock ticks into the red. Battersil with the big dummy, looking for the line once more, the big second row. England with 3 players out to the left. They've got the overlap if Hyatt wanted to see it. Gets wrapped up. Welsh defence doing well to shut them down. Now 1-on-1. Oh, the finish is there. Schilliker able to get over.
Time, guys.
Had a bit of an injury, had a bit of a handbrake, a shoulder issue. Back fit, playing PWR Cup, and having moments like that on debut to get onto the England scoreboard. Quick fist bump with Dad, was that? Love it.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that. And she could have got the score one phase earlier, but it doesn't quite get out to her. Decision to carry instead, but then recycled after getting hit back, and then it's just an easy 1v1 for Schilliker there. Like, really, tackle should have been made, but she's got the handoff out. She's quick off the mark, goes around the outside, and yeah, as you said, fist bump to Dad.
Harlequins player, Horsham RFC. She will know the Wales number 10 very well from that connection. Conversion attempt will drop short, but our referee Mel Wright will round off that first 40 minutes. Well, it's a scoreboard at half-time that certainly favours the home side, but perhaps doesn't tell you the story about how many questions Wales have asked of them in certain areas of the field, not least in the loose and around their discipline. But credit to the Red Roses. Try scorers in Battersil, Calladine, Schilliker there, right on the stroke of half-time. And Amy Williams managing to get away from the Welsh, who you could probably say in terms of entries to the 22 and execution are probably slightly higher on the statistics facts than England are. But we're certainly seeing plenty of expression Plenty of high skill set and plenty of entertainment at Dings Crusaders at Shaftesbury Park. At half-time, it's England 19, Wales 5, and a chance to have another look at the tries, Kat.
Yeah, really strong carry from Elle. She's carried strongly this whole first half, and then it's a good second row try, a pick and a dummy, and going over there, which was a really good spot from Basil. Like, could have gone for the pass, but actually knew it was on for her, so a nice carry and score for the forwards.
Second score, it was Calladine who was part of one of the initial shoves, and then she got herself well positioned and over the ball.
Yeah, and this carry, just a really, really strong one, because so difficult. You don't want to be held up now, because obviously you don't get the scrum back. The opposition would get the dropout, so it's important if you go for the line, you've got to get it. And there was no doubt in Canada's mind there. She knew she was getting it, confident, and a good carry. And then Wales obviously striking back with a great line breaker, lovely offload off the floor, and then it was just the hands and the width of Williams to stay out wide, so defence couldn't get across to her, but a really important strike back for them.
She's had a bright game, Eleanor Hing, but I thought when she carried that into contact, I thought we were going to be a little questioning, but the offload off the floor spared her blushes, didn't it?
Yes, that was the bit that actually meant that Wales were able to keep that ball alive and get it wide, because otherwise, if that's a breakdown, England flood round the corner, their players marked and not into it.
Well, 14-5 it was, but England came straight up the other end, and well, they were in business-like mode at this point, really, and the one-on-one left Kim Thurlow for dead.
Yeah, just an easy finish round the outside there, and I'm sure Thurlow won't be wanting to re-look at that one, because it was sort of a basic one-on-one there, so you've got to make your try-saving tackles in there. But Shilaka took her opportunity. She hasn't had a huge amount of ball in this first half, but when she has touched it, she's made it count.
I'm going to apologise to Kim Thurlow, because it wasn't her on the outside at that point, actually, so she cannot be to blame defensively for that one. It was a little further in field, but in the meantime, half-time, England under-20s 19, Wales under-20s 5. Well, no doubt many of these girls would have been paying attention to the campaign of the senior women in England over the course of the last 6-7 weeks. What a campaign it was. O2 Inside Line episode saw the Red Roses in our All-In episode defend their Six Nations title, becoming Grand Slam champions in France. Let's have a taster.
I remember when I went back to, we go a long way back when we first started against Italy. Can you remember what I said in the room at the same time? Trust who you are. Trust who you're with. And trust what you have. And nothing changes tonight. Nothing changes. So go out there and enjoy.
The finale of the 2024 Guinness Women's Six Nations, France against England. There's only one trophy and they are not going to share it. So forward to go back round the corner, still not to be inches short. Cabella tries to power over, really well read there by the French defensive line to push her back. Bottoman popped up, try for England. Packer, Powell, popped up ball, Matthews, too easy! Great finish by Alex Matthews, and there's just no time now for France to do anything. Comes back, Aitchison will send it out, that's it! It's not just a slam, it's a triple grand slam for England.
That was a grand slam win in front of a hostile French crowd. Stand tall and proud. I think we should all have a lot more smiles on our faces. Yeah? Reds on red, red, roses!
Da 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 da, indeed. I think we all know the words to that one. Wonderful campaign for the Red Roses. To watch the full episode of All In, head to the England Rugby's YouTube channel. You might be on it right now. So open a new window, open that one, have a little look at that episode, and make sure you're subscribed for all those latest episodes. Now we talk about the Guinness Women's Six Nations. It was well, largely dominated by one particular player who scored more tries than anybody else. You'd have thought she might share a few. 9 tries all in all for Ellie Kildunn, the top try scorer across all of the unions, and well, she is becoming quite the character. We've seen interviews where she has talked through the fact that she wants to be the best player in the world, men or women. She is certainly on her way there.
I think if the ball had gone slightly earlier from Kildunn, there were forwards really struggling, backpedaling.
Well, Kildunn's given them the slip down the touchline. She might try and go all the way herself. Ellie Kildunn. Well, she's been doing it for Harlequins in the domestic season, and now she'll step up once again on the international stage. Allcroft on for Matthews. Matthews gets the call from Ward. It's being kept alive well by England as they shift the point of attack. Mackenzie Carson, who already has 1 try to the name. Then the big one out wide. Ellie Kildunn diving over and getting her 2nd of the match.
You can see Bottom and Amur offering themselves. They spin towards the other side. Kildunn has it. Kildunn scores. Ellie Kildunn, 3 tries now in the Six Nations. But either side, it's a little bit more loose. Tatiana Hurd can see Meg Jones is there, spins it out to Ellie Kildunn. She can't go over again. Yes, she can. Oh my goodness. Off. Aitchison thinks she can see space. Oh, that's a nice chase by Meg Jones, and she's got it back in field. That's really good. Can Kildunn go over? She can. You can tell the fresh legs out there. Fairnati has been begging for every ball. They need one more pass, and Dow is there. It's Kildunn. Kildunn scores. Here they come. They go towards the middle there. Flying through the air was Matthews, and that is driving hard. Penalty advantage then to England. Hurd is there. Aitchison now to Kildunn, who scored again in this Six Nations. Well, Packer back onto the field. Pack putting the ball in at that scrum. Aitchison. Scarrett, that's a great touch. Manages to keep it moving really nicely. Hot potato. Here comes Ellie Kildunn. Not again, surely. Oh my goodness. It's the Women's Six Nations, some call it. Anyone else would say it's Ellie Kildunn's world. Somewhat of a surprise selection in this Six Nations squad, but has done well with her time. Oh, off the side of her boot from Scarrett. Can Kildunn take it for a hat-trick? Oh, it's going to be again for Kildunn. 13 England tries.
Here we have a red rose. Here's another. And another. Watch out, here's another. A team of pace, power, and personality. From the beginning, we've been trailblazers.
And they are the world champions.
Entertainers.
That is absolutely gorgeous.
Oh my word! What a score!
Winners.
World champions, Grand Slam champions.
We want all eyes on us. After all, 58,000 people can't be wrong. But we want more. So say it with us. Roses on red.
Well, make sure you're following at Red Roses Rugby on Instagram and X, formerly known as Twitter, for all the latest throughout the upcoming, well, months and years ahead of what is going on with that team. They are dominating well, and well, Cat Merchant, it was interesting to really see the difference that John Mitchell and Lou Meadows have been making within that team. Sarah Hunter and Lewis Deacon, of course, there as well. But actually that shift of style that we saw from the senior Red Roses has been paying dividends in terms of the tries scored. It's not been up the jumper and rolling maul anymore, has it?
Yeah, absolutely. Aside from the France game, the final game, where I don't think they did as they did in all the other games, which they moved the ball to the wingers. They played a lot of back style of play. They had forwards doing offloading in the middle, and it was in a really exciting style of play. Against France, they reverted back a little bit to putting up the jumper, forwards carries, and kicking away a lot of their possession. Now, they did enough to get an impressive win, so it doesn't matter, but the style of play has been brilliant.
Yeah, I think it was. I think that was a real decision, certainly against France. They knew that France's outlet was, well, let's try and meet the Roses physically, and they, I think, decided, well, we're going to go through you and show you that you can't. And well, it was a 13th consecutive loss for France against England, an extraordinary record against a side that arguably are one of the closest to them. And we know now, of course, that, well, not too far from here, Gloucester, 7th of September, will be when the Red Roses are running out against France again in that build-up to WXV3 this year, and a week after, the Black Ferns at Twickenham. How excited are you for all that?
Oh, it's going to be absolutely brilliant, because I think actually England-France in a standalone is a bit different. I think that France in the Six Nations, for whatever reason, they just let England get in their head, and they haven't got it. I think psychologically England edged them there, but in a standalone one game, can they just show up and show what they could do? And New Zealand, really great. It's, you know, World Cup's just around the corner now, so playing these big games is huge to see where everybody's at.
Yeah, going to be really, really interesting. If you are not following Alice Soper or Alice Soapbox on your socials, and you want to keep across what's happening from a Southern Hemisphere perspective where New Zealand are concerned, then I can highly recommend Alice for everything that's going on with the Black Ferns and her digest on things. Also news that, of course, Joe Yapp, formerly head coach at your former club, Kat, who is now head coach of the Wallaroos down there. She's going to be taking their side over to Ireland in September as well. So we are just starting to see this investment that's come through from World Rugby, that Rugby World Cup, the biggest yet on the horizon in 2025, with games all over England, is allowing these teams to develop their programs, to travel and put in these internationals in places where they wouldn't have done before. Yeah,
Australia never travel, never. They play New Zealand and that's it, and they don't play them that often, so it's hugely important. And we saw in the last World Cup, Australia, they have some great players, and you know, really good, and Joe Yapp's only going to go and make that even better. So excited to see what they can do against Ireland, and glad that they are coming over, because this is what, and you know, WXV, it gives players and teams opportunities to play a lot more rugby, which is just great for the whole game.
And it gives us more work, which is obviously really important.
Well, yes, yeah, it keeps us at a job, which is always useful. So we're happy with more rugby.
Absolutely. No, the growth of the women's game is just absolutely flying. So for those of you watching on, what a hugely exciting next couple of years we have towards that World Cup in 2025. What are we, 18 months away? Less than that, August next year, where that will take place. So as far as this game is concerned, England obviously 19-5 in the lead, 3 tries to 1. What are going to be the key things for Lisa Burgess in this Wales side second half? Because they're not being blown away, are they? They've been 3 good tries, but they're not being blown off the park here, so they will know that they've got ways to get themselves in this.
Definitely. I think that confidence, and I know that just seems, you could see the difference. After they'd scored, they suddenly looked like they were going to go again, and they made those line breaks. So I think just having the belief and going for it. I mean, that lady there, we've not seen enough of the ball in her hands, because she made a really dangerous line break early on. So getting the balls into those channels, they've had numbers on the outside, they have shortened up that England defence, but they've chosen to kick it. And actually, if they keep it in hand once that England team is shortened up, I think they have the pace to go round them.
Voice of Kat Merchant, Rugby World Cup winner from 2014, former Worcester winger. Bristol as well?
No, only ever Worcester.
Just Worcester.
Only
just Worcester. One club girl.
Exactly.
Sorry to have tainted you with the local.
How dare you? yeah.
Local sorts. Right. Well, I can see. I think we already have one change. Hannah Sims is onto the field. Sorry, Hannah Sams, I should say.
I was going to say, but Hannah Sims did play at Bristol.
I know, I'm getting the Sams and the Simses confused. Anyway, we are away at the start of the second half. That clearance was just outside the 22. Amelia McDougall with a slight shake of the head.
England on the line,
so
please.
Obviously, if you're just
England, take the line.
outside your 22, you need to make sure it lands in first before going. So gone straight out, so on the full, which means that Wales get to start off this half with some really good possession. But the line-outs did go a little awry for them in the last few of the first half.
Okay. So Maddie Johns, of course, who's on for Wales at 18. Talking about Hannah Sams, she was the late change for England at 18. I'm getting the 18s confused here. So it's Maddie Johns who's come onto the field. One of the overs who is
Just keeping that straight shape.
part of Wales a few years ago, went off the radar a little bit, played Britton Thunder in the Celtic Challenge.
Guys, same messages before, please. Square, stable and high. Thank you.
And Lisa Burgess in charge of the Wales programme. 87 caps, 6 GB caps across a 20-year career, captaining her country in the first Test match against England in 1987. Inducted into World Rugby's Hall of Fame in 2018.
Wales choosing to go completely flat and only have Hing back in defence, so fascinating setup for them. They're really backing Hing on her own, or they don't think that England are going to kick it.
Well, they've certainly put a lot of pressure on England in possession there and actually forced them out in their own 22, so admirable work.
Yeah, it's really uncommon to see that, to have both wingers up and just leave fullback completely back, but they went flat, which means you obviously have an extra player to put pressure on. But if England do manage to get the kick away, you're asking for a lot of work from just the fullback. And again, it was one of those passes that was just out in front. She's not sure if it's for her or not, whether to go for it, and that's the second time we've seen one of those this game.
Erin Jones.
Obstruction. You've broken
Wales
away
is guilty
and
of driving into their own player, giving away the penalty.
Two obstruction. Back 10, please. Yeah, two. If you break away, you can't be.
So not as much distance as she might have wanted from that, but out of the danger zone, which is the important part, and having position, being in a position where they're now able to play with it a bit more and move it.
Decent leap from Lola Whitley. Gloucester Hartpury and Hartpury College player.
Holding on.
Penalty goes to England.
First player.
On the right side of the referee's whistle a couple of times at the start of this half. Getting back to her feet is Maisie Davis, one of the replacements on. First year under 20s. Been a back rower converting to loose head, which has been a process they've been going through over the last 4 or 5 months.
You know, you just have to look to Sarah Byrne from the senior side. She used to play club rugby at flanker, and she got moved forward into tight head. So there's merits in doing it, to learning your trade. You get your line breaks, get your handling, and then you learn the dark arts of scrummaging. Like, makes you a pretty dangerous player.
It's a good take from Battershill. Released nicely. England with a bit more depth on this, and it's inviting McDougall into the hole. Wales shutting down the space. That was good from Thurlow, but still on for Millie David. And now it's away. England flooding in the numbers, making sure they get hold of it as it's away again from Alex Wilkinson. Oxford University, and also a bit of Henley Hawks for Alex Wilkinson, as England ball in two hands from Hyatt was flawed. It's still asking questions of Wales into the 22. This is a solid start to the second half for England. Have they still got hold of it? No, they haven't. Well, commentators curse.
8 holding on.
Good carry, but Wales get themselves in a position for the turnover.
Yeah, it's all from that big hit, I think, on Hyatt, because that looked dangerous. I thought it was a 2v1 out there, but a big tackle coming in, and then off the back of that, some strong defence from Wales, and then able to steal it back with the penalty.
Guys, you grab the ball from Say again? They need to take the mark.
Lisa Burgess talking about with this Wales side that they've been concentrating on individual skill development and working to get to know each other as part of the team in this first block that they have. ahead of facing England. They will go into a second block. There is going to be this under-20 Six Nations competition coming in July as Wales work between each other but actually end up sending the ball forwards in the pass. We're going to get full details on this next week, we understand, but it looks like the under-20s teams are going to be jumping on a plane to Palma in July. Worst places to be, but make sure you got the sunblock.
Yeah, oh, that sounds great, doesn't it? Yeah, and I think, you know, we've seen from the women's going a different time of year to the men's Six Nations, and it gets its own coverage and people get excited about it and as a standalone tournament. So I think for the 20s doing something similar, it just means that you get quality rugby across so much longer across the season. And yeah, Italy in July, you're not going to really complain about that, are you?
I can give you more time. And you do not to England, you must make more of an effort.
I remember playing Italy in February, and there was an outside pool, and we got made to do pool recovery, and it was in night, and it was awful. Yeah, absolutely. I still remember it now. It was that.
Has whoever made you do that been sacked?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, no, yeah. I just clung to the side. They're like, "You've got to move," and I'd like kick one leg, and I was like, "This is as much movement as I'm getting." I'm in protest. Yeah, horrid.
We waterboarded after dessert. Get my head around that. Scrum goes down. Bit of a mess. And I think referee Mel Wright is keen to emphasise a need for more height.
One here. Seeing both of you quite unstable.
And you wonder if at half-time England kind of had a little talk about discipline, and they would have wanted to definitely keep those penalties down. Top quality teams they want to have less than 10, and they would have, I think, I know we didn't have the stats, but I think they would have hit that even just in the first half. So maybe a bit of a chat, regroup, and come away a bit cleaner in this second half.
Georgia Vattersill just getting back into the second row. She might have had a bit of a stamping on. Louis Campion, who has been in the team, of course. Injured, making room for Vattersill, and therefore leaves a bit of room for Josie Clark, who's on the bench. But it's away from Wilkinson through to midfield to Hyatt, then on the wraparound, and now they launch the big one. It's a little too far out in front of Schilliker. The two wingers are over on the side together as Millie Davis comes stepping back in. 55 Premiership Women's Rugby appearances over the course of this season represented in this under-20 squad. Millie Hyatt, one of those who's put in a few for Gloucester Hartpury. Steph House, who has played 15 out of 18 games at Gloucester Hartpury. And in midfield, it is in the hands of the skipper. Wales look to try and get the turnover. Wilkinson, one of those who is a championship player at Henley Hawks. England being driven towards that touchline. That'll do from a Welsh perspective defensively.
Yeah, his last pass is still just letting England down a little bit, and you mentioned it, it's about players getting used to each other, and you know, I think Schilliker there actually possibly could have hit in slightly tighter and that ball goes to hand, but it's just getting used to when those timing comes, how it happens. But beautiful tackle, double tackle there into touch, and working really hard, the Welsh defence.
Just see about this player.
I'd like to keep you up to date with the international women's scene, and hearing that WXV3 may have just got quite interesting, because Madagascar have just beaten Kenya in an amazing finale and only need to beat Cameroon midweek, so could be seeing Madagascar in WXV3.
Well, they get amazing numbers, don't they? Supporters out there. It's something that they really get behind their rugby, so that would be incredible. And if they need some commentators to go to Madagascar, I know a couple of great ones.
Absolutely. Yeah. Wales line. Oh, it's just dying a little bit in the middle. You could just see, and Vattersill was able to take advantage of it for England. Now gets it back and makes the run. Oh, it's a really solid one as well. Good leg drive and accompanied by Bennett. McDougall. Ellie Roberts has carried well when asked to. But Wales get in and get that turnover. Looking to try and just find a little bit of way through goes Maisie Davis, and then Wales feed, and joining the line comes Hing. Just ran out of room a bit on that far side.
Yeah, I think she thought she had a little bit more time on there because she was going to put a kick in, but all started from that turnover from Tavira. Really good steal from her, like a good spot to go across, but this was the attack, so a nice ball from Hing, and then yeah, you could see actually, oh, was she taken out before? She's going to kick that and then gets tackled, ball in air, but
bit of a painful one as Amelia Williams hit the deck.
Time's off, take your time. I think Jenny's got
it just looks wrong, doesn't it, actually? Because you're perfectly fine to tackle her, but it's just, it looks like as she goes to kick it now, then tackled, but yeah, it does look pretty painful with that.
Timed well, but certainly seems in a little bit of discomfort, Amelia Williams, so medic team are right there, and certainly hope she's okay.
So I don't think there's any issues your side, is there? It's on the other side.
Maybe it's a bit of cramp.
Yeah, it could be calf cramp, which obviously can be like really painful, but it's not serious, which is good. Painful, but not in terms of long term, so hopefully just a bit of cramp.
Where's the pickle juice when you need it?
Yeah, I never got forced to have that, but I remember Katie McLean saying that, now Katie Daly McLean, saying that she had to have it and shot it, and it was horrible.
13 red.
Well, they might need to consider making the change, England. They do have Chloe Flanagan on the bench, who has started the previous couple of games.
Time back on. There's Knox here. Right, 5 metres the line.
Williams seems ready to rejoin us.
Guys, that last scrum, really good picture. Same again, thank you.
Got to get off the floor with cramp, straight into scrummaging.
Yeah,
lovely,
isn't it? Yeah. In fact, you've had your rest. I don't know how you scrub.
Second.
Crouch. Bind.
You've got to say it's great to see so many people out supporting here today as well. That's one of the big differences for for 20s, and it's absolutely packed in here, and I think that's brilliant and shows how far rugby's come as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a bigger crowd than you used to get in your international days, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, the early days,
Yeah, certainly. Right, Shilliker, chance to pin her ears back. Tackle was super. Ball back inside for Green. De Vera's in there trying to wrestle it away before it got to ground. McDougall. Bennett without too much room to work in. Load again, Spurrier. Well tackled that time. Got through a fair few times earlier in the first half, but now it's there for Amelia Williams. Back involved. England driving towards the line again. Oh, just short goes Lola Whitley. So close. England round to the right, trying to find a way over, trying to find a way to ground it, but they're not going to, despite the efforts of the skipper. It's a goal line dropout, and that is one for the Welsh defence.
Yeah, really great for the for Wales. They're working so hard to get underneath. We said it earlier, if you go for the line, you've got to score it, because otherwise Wales get the opportunity to go to there. So really, turtled her, got her the wrong way around, held up, so not going to be able to ground that ball.
Clearance kick just found McDougall. England pass it across the face. Now Ellie Roberts. Solid follow-up tackle from Davis. She's been good since she's come on for Wales in that front row. Williams driven back. There for Wilkinson. Seeing Millie Hyatt now more stepping into that first receiver role. McDougall then slipping back out into the centre. Seems that England have just switched that slightly now in this second half, as Hyatt puts a bit more depth for McDougall, and then England tiptoeing around the outside there with Millie David. Infield they go. Wales need to make the tackles here. Another drive towards the line for England.
Shot!
Getting ever closer. Once more. Down they drive.
On the line, Wales!
Short as that. Bennett looks to try and place
No
it.
hands!
Not able to. Wales need to stay completely whiter than white here. McDougall. Little ball back in field from Green. Oh,
Shot!
how on earth have they stopped England there? Another superb defensive effort. And now it's McDougall. And now it's Shilliker. And it will be the try. It's good patience and well work from England, but you have to credit the Welsh defence for how often they stop the junior Red Roses on that occasion.
Yeah, that phase before, I have no idea how they managed to keep that held up. That must have been incredible strength, because I thought that was absolutely going to be a try. But as you said, patience from this England side. So this is it, it's the back inside here. You think by all accounts that's great strength from the 9. Really worked hard, twisted her back, so really good. But then England just have the numbers and then just managed to get it wide, and an easy finish there for Shilliker. So Singleton, great strength there, because we saw it live, didn't we, and thought, I don't know how that's happened, but when you look at it, just using her core strength, twisting around, really good.
Oh, conversion attempt off the woodwork. Crossbar challenge. Ding, ding, ding.
Completed it, mate.
Absolutely. Leah Green with the conversion, and another look at the try.
Yeah, so a nice movement, and that back inside to keep defences honest, and then that Singleton tackle there, really important to twist her around, but then it's how quickly they manage to recycle. And again, wingers just keeping their whip, staying confident the ball is going to come to them, and really key with that for both sides have shown that now.
Brace of tries for Katie Shilliker then. England up to 26 now. They look like they want to get out of the traps again here. Further changes being made for Wales. Catherine Stewart, number 20 on the back, as you can see, is onto the field.
20 too slow,
North Walian, as at Cardiff Met this year.
Red 20. East to west, please, Wales. Thank you. Wales here, please. That's yours, yeah. They're on their marks, don't close.
So I think potentially here playing the 9. Is the penalty given for?
Good take from Whitley. Move to the second row. From the back row, can do both. Hyatt. McDougall. Oh, that's a lovely in out from David. Just panics the defence when she does that. Shilliker on the outside, McDougall on the inside, and it's the Saracen who receives it. Back in field go England. Wilkinson. England finding a little bit more room on the outside. Oh, Lola Whitley going all the way. The one-handed offload. Is the ball down? Yes, it is, says the referee.
Enough, thank you.
That was all about the Gloucester Hartpury second row. Lola Whitley finding a way through, freeing up the left arm and bowling the ball back in field. Wonderful try.
Yeah, the control of that offload was incredible. Managed to, it looked by all means like it was going to go forward initially, so it's a great carry, really good, really strong. And then you see now the arm comes through, the offload isn't on, manages to keep hold, get the offload away, really good strength. And that you have to ask, okay, could that be done with a size 5? Like, probably, I think, you know, with her skill set there, but the fact it's a 4.5 means easier to hold on to. She looks to give the offload, it's not there, keeps hold, then does the second one. Really great skill.
Millie David popping up on that right side. And it's another solid conversion.
Time off.
Wonderful effort from Leah Green.
They both all right to continue? Time's off.
And then there's a handling, and it's the support lines as well, and the that confidence, the carrying. Takes 3 defenders in to tackle her, and then the support play as well on the outside for David.
Time's off, guys.
So the changes starting to be made by both sides now. We've got Sophie Langford on for England, and Tyler Shirley as well.
Kicking off before the ref is ready.
Yeah, I think we had the restart before Mel Wright was with us.
Time back on. How's the practice?
And we've got Matt, as she's known, Molly Anderson-Thomas taking that restart. Oh dear. First touch for Sophie Moulton. Will not be one to remember.
No, I think that's one of those where she's gone for it, and I think it was just coming down lower than she thought it was gonna. So difficult one to take, but one that you definitely obviously want to get under.
First bit of game time with the under-20s.
Okay guys, so we've had some
exposure
changes.
at Ealing through the
What I want from
PWR
Scrum is
Cup.
what we had in those last few. Everyone's staying up square, and I'm not seeing anyone changing their angle. Okay, same again, thank you.
Placement scrum half, replacing Alex Wilkinson,
Go to my left, please, thank you.
who did well. She's been doing that all season for Henley Hawks and for Oxford Uni.
Crouch!
Playing alongside the Mercurial Shira Kilgallen, of course.
And up. Okay. So closing the gap here, let's make sure we've got our feet underneath us, please. Otherwise that's probably going down. Feet underneath us. Anything your side case? Thank you. Yep, thank you.
Good central position this. We've also got Jenny De Vera over on the right side. Freya Bell is lined up directly behind this scrum. Oh, and it's going to be straight arm penalty. So in fact, Wales will get to go through Jess Rogers. Now it's back in. Millie Summit. Sensing the room might be on out on the right. Oh, the offload. If it had gone to hand, it might have been a different story, but Kim Thurlow was just a little more narrow as to where the ball ended up.
What was it, Hyatt? I think there was an England player in the defensive line that shot out and got in the way, which meant that the pass couldn't go. So good defence there to stop that attack. It was, yes. And then Wales then forcing a pass over the top and not managing to get it. So good defence there from Hyatt.
That last line out was good. Here we go.
Jessie Spurrier makes way for England.
That's once England!
We will have Hannah Sams onto the field now. The floaters away. Chance to see Tyler Shirley in full flight.
Taken back.
England going through the hands. Langford went to France as non-playing reserve. Did get a cap at under-20s last year against Scotland.
Scrum advantage.
LJ Lewis very appreciative of the choice in the back line that she's got, as De Vera now brings it forward for Wales.
No advantage, playing a scrum advantage. Knocked on.
De Vera's an exciting player, isn't she? When she gets it, you do sense that something's always coming from it.
Thumb off. Marks you.
I think she's joined Cramp Club momentarily.
An exclusive club.
Yeah. No, I don't want my membership card. Thank you very much.
I'd like to give that in, please. I don't want it. Yeah. So I think they're looking at the clear, checking everything's fine, and then it is just a bit of cramp.
Can you be careful when you're coming in the ruck, please, and making contact with the body, not the neck, please?
Captain the under-20s in Canada last year, I should say, at Bristol University, De Vera, so we're on home turf. Coming a lot, been developing well since being at the Bears.
Yeah, just an exciting player, and you know, her line break led to the try. Her turnover was really important to nearly them getting their second one. She's just been in and around the important moments.
Plenty of the red shirts across the bridge. Certainly was a decent amount of noise when we saw the Williams score earlier for Wales. Amy Williams, left winger, getting in. Develop back to her feet.
Wales 15. Off she goes.
And I think we're seeing a change. Eleanor Hing is making way.
Change is made. Thank you.
Just trying to get a sight on who's on. I think Gabby Heelan is on.
5 metre hit.
Coming back to playing, having been out for 12 months with an ACL injury. Done well to get back. Some training with the under-20s. Managed to get a couple of games in with Cardiff Met. Just really been pushing over these last 6 weeks to get herself in a position to take this opportunity with the number 23 on her back, Gabby Heelan, just into midfield.
Set!
So, Scrum has been a little bit all over the place, and that is a really strong drive from England. They're going to get the chance to use it and play as well. McDougall back in the 10 role, and Millie David drifting from wing and back to full-back, and then Evelyn Clark, who's onto the field for England. First exposure during this campaign. That is a good possession and holding on of the ball from Els, given the weight of that collision that she was in. Millie Hyatt receiving that ball almost like she was on the baseline of a doubles match, just keeping the feet going, and it's the feet of Amelia McDougall who's getting going now, and on the outside, just run into her own, her opposite number there. Schilliker chip through was certainly a decent option. She's almost winded herself in the process as well, I think.
Yeah, I think she has there, but yeah, it's a really nice option when you've made a line break as a wing and you've just got one player to beat in front of you. Then actually putting it in and over the top, not a bad option, or you know, grubbering it along the floor. So the right idea to go for it, but then ends up running into the defender after she kicked it. And then, yeah, I think comes out a bit winded from it.
England able to use the ball from the line. Bennett. Sams. Played a bit for Exeter in the PWR Cup. Had a good run of games, and this is Else again in the middle, under the shadow of the Welsh posts. McDougall, little bit more depth from Hyatt now, the width again for Clark, steps back in. Another solid drive from Georgia Battis-Hill. Then Bennett keeps seeking every opportunity to try and get through again.
Hands!
Industrious 6. Now, England have got a 5-on-2 here. Surely they've got to make it finish. Just stuttering through it a little bit at times. Langford.
See where it goes.
Oh, and then it goes forwards.
Forward from the floor.
It's that clinical, it's the last pass. It really has
straighten and give, straighten and give, Cat Merchant.
There we go, exactly. It's so important, but that last pass is the difference between scoring or not, because they have all of the numbers out there and it's just slowed down there initially because it's not quick ball, and then difficult to then come back in. I mean, they're keeping it alive and they're getting good structure, and the thing is you have to try these things, and you know, they're 33-5 up, so why not? They're doing some really impressive, exciting rugby, and I think the way they're linking with each other is great. But you know, you have to say there's probably another 3 tries left out there because just of a simple 2v1 pass not going to hand.
Hinge again.
Loud blast and the whistle.
Hinge again.
It's going to be against Chloe Flanagan. Wales coming away, ball in hand, out of the 22. Rogers. Oh, but
First
the penalty goes to England.
Back, please.
Making the break is one thing, but finding yourself isolated is another, and Jess Rogers has found that out.
Yeah, especially when you make a line break out wide, so important that support are able to get there, because defence can just swallow it up and just steal that ball.
Interesting to see Millie Hyatt really growing into this game as well.
Here we go, Rick.
She's tall,
That's your
physically
mark.
imposing. Seen her at 10 and 12 a fair bit, but I know it's this sort of platform where England under-20s, LJ Lewis, and of course assisted by Sarah McKenna, who knows a little thing or two about back play. They want to see what Millie Hyatt can offer in a 13 channel. She's coming in more to a 10 and 12 now in this second half, but
She's never changed.
certainly looking like
That's
one of
once,
those really in
England!
control of what England are trying to do out wide as they
Break
rotate
away.
this one in field. And have they found their way to the line once more, England? Ball is on the floor. Or is it going to be a tight drive through the
Go
gap?
Wales, get out!
Where's the ball?
Double movement. You were short, double movement, penalty.
Clear refereeing. They were so desperate to find their way into the try line
Double
that
movement.
they were trying to smuggle it over. Josie Plant, not their first time, not allowed a second movement other than just a simple reach of the arm, and clearly referee right on the spot to call it as she saw it.
And you were talking about Hyatt there, and you mentioned Sarah McKenna in the coaching setup, but she's a player that can play 10 to 15. She can play right across that back line. I think I don't know the stats wise on it, but I'm sure at
Wales
England
on
she's
the
been
line.
capped from 10 out. Like she's
Move
definitely
in.
been at fullback,
Put
been on
Wales
the
on the
wing as
line,
well.
thank
So very skillful player across the boards.
Wales need to find the ability of staying connected enough to just make a few more metres into this English defence. Again, it's a little bit loose. It's certainly gone forward the second time, has it?
Stop.
I think it had, but I'm not sure it was spotted.
Guys, here. 18, are you okay?
There was a collision there, and I think
Just need a medic for you.
referee is quite keen
So
to
it's just two players going to ground.
have the
Can we
right
have that looked
players
at, please?
seen to by the medics if there's been a collision that she's been aware of.
Yeah, rightly so. Let the physios come on and assess.
Yep.
I think it might have been two players hitting themselves.
Yeah. Just looking at where it sort of happens onto this one. Ah, there we go, going into...
Yes, it was. So if we've not had enough. So
yeah,
so-
possibly looking at...
It's
yeah,
that-
the clear.
it's that glancing blow, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just try saw two heads clash with your abilities, guys. I'll check with these guys. You happy? Sorry, just medics, you happy? Happy?
Catherine
Thanks so
Stewart.
much. Time back on. Water off, please. Guys, we're playing advantage for a red knock-on from you.
Had a couple of injuries this year already, so we'll be keen to maintain a consistent run of games without having to leave the field. But of course, if the medics feel that a player does need looking over, then they have the right to remove them.
Okay.
Recognise
So
and
I've got you
remove, a key
initiated,
part of the
keep
game.
looking.
Can you just watch her holding stability? please?
Yeah, of
Thank
course.
you.
Left for you, please.
England have all come over to this left-hand side. So they've got no one on the right-hand side of the scrum. Again, very rare. Normally you will have a winger at least loitering over there, but they've fully stacked the left side.
Bind! Set! Leave her.
Moulton can get it away. Hyatt pings it back for McDougall. The missed pass, finding David, who's joined the line, and then it's there for Evelyn Clark.
Carried out already.
Shown the door.
Unlucky. Just leave it, thank you. It's carried
Now I
out.
think if you are going to stack all your players over to the left, but then you're not going to use them, you're
England here,
actually
please.
just dragging the defence with them. So for me, I'd have the right
Hold them,
wing
please. Which
over
number?
on the right, drag a defence over, and then you're creating more space. Whereas by putting more numbers into it, sometimes if there's not that much
Sorry
space
for
there,
pressing, thank
I don't think it adds much to it.
They're almost in danger to running into an already congested space.
Yes, yeah, and then just defence follow you because you're there. So I think unless you're adding another option, I think just having another body in a short area, if that's full width, fair enough. But I think that shortened area, probably just a player too many.
Amelia Hindman onto the field for England for a debut, been brought in
Penalty not rolling.
on the longer list of players that they've
21.
had.
Penalty advantage.
Injured finger for Daisy Fitzgerald, creating a bit of space. McDougall.
Advantage over!
Good meters. England then given the chance. Hindman onto the ball. Wales are going to try and get the turnover. Oh, and they will get the benefit of the penalty.
16 holding on. Good jackal.
Wonderful work from Maddie Johns. Right in the right position. Going straight onto the ball.
Yeah, both sides need to be so quick in support because both sides are so good at that jackal and getting that turnover, but missed touch there and England given a good opportunity now.
Yeah, it's just allowed them to float that straight into the path of Millie David. Hyatt looked like she was signalling the switch there. Not quite sure Evelyn Clark was on the same page. And didn't panic, that's the main thing. And Tyler Shirley.
Release Reds!
Not the making of a potential senior Red Rose, Tyler Shirley, if she can perhaps get things right over the next little while of her career. Little pick and go from Moulton. Sniping little look from the scrum half. Else knows that breakdown is under an awful lot of pressure. Shirley goes in to help secure possession. That was good awareness of the role needed to be played, and Battersill then takes a metre. Then it's Bennett. Oh, it could be a turnover position. No lift of the ball, says the referee.
Penalty advantage, hands in.
Coming round to the right. England looking to go again.
No advantage. Penalty, hands in the ruck.
Hands in the ruck then. Another penalty.
Thank you. Ruck formed, hands in. Scrum called. Scrum called, Wes. At 7, that was you, respond, thank you. If I say hands out, just leave it.
Seconds in!
Don't interfere with her, please don't touch her.
Yes, okay!
Crouch! Binds! Right. So we've got good stability eventually. Last one, gap too big? Gap too big, let's move together a bit.
She's had her knowledge of scrums tested over the course of this afternoon. Our referee had to come in and judge where the physics has been not going as we might have hoped in order to get these scrums reset.
Yeah, Wales have won a couple of their penalties though as well. It hasn't just been a complete dominance from England, but it has to be said England are looking stronger in that set piece, aren't they?
One.
Penalty England. Else feeding it wider through Hyatt. It looks like it's going to be the hat-trick for Shilliker. England get round once more.
Yeah, really easy stuff there for England, isn't it? They just look calm, composed, and they get the penalty, and it's a nice quick tap from Else there, and then beautiful hands, and Hyatt goes wide as well, and a lovely finish there for Shilliker as well. So we've really managed to get her into the game and out wide, but a good spot. Rather than slowing the ball down, rather than going for a kick to line out or for scrum, they've just gone, we're going to quick tap this and go.
About 6 minutes, but she'll keep posted.
Kick just falling short then. McDougall not having the whole afternoon to practice the kicks because so many of them taken by Leah Green before she left the field. But England up to 38 now, Wales on 5.
Yeah, just that dominance that we've spoken about over the set piece for England, and then Else to be confident enough to tap it and then go across, and it's the ability to get it wide. So often that last pass hasn't gone well. That was a version where it's gone well, and how dangerous they can be.
Lovely bit of techers there from McDougall.
Oh, I thought she was just outside the 22, but obviously not. Obviously within.
England just two. Wales, you're inside your half, yeah?
Wales line out. Wales line isn't straight.
Outside shoulder.
England will get the option.
England. Line out, please. Line out,
And they're going to call their own line out.
Reset. You receiver, are you?
Line out called. Oh, it's just been knocked on by England. It's another loose one.
It's a good line out, but then yeah, that scrappiness of the knock on.
Well, Kat, just while we have a moment then, a couple of minutes ago, who's impressed you this afternoon?
Yeah, I think for Wales, I think the Hing was really good, and then I think for England there's been some really good performances across the back line. McDougall has ran it really well, but for me, player of the match is the number 8. She's been absolutely outstanding. Steph Ellis, that lady on screen there, she's been in the thick of everything defensively, but in attack as well, and has just worked really hard today and led her team well.
I mean, a winger scores 3 tries and a winger on comms hasn't given her player of the match.
Yeah, there are winger tries where you run the length, and there's ones where you're on the end of them, and I think despite that hat-trick, I think she has played very well, but I think that actually Elsa has done enough outside of it to get it.
Recognising where the work has been done. So yeah, player of the match, it's England captain Steph Ellis.
That's nice work on that last one.
We will
Thank you.
do our best to whistle down and grab a quick word with Steph at the end of the game, as we will both of these sides before our live stream concludes here from Shaftesbury Park.
Yes, second!
Our clock of best estimation.
Crouch! Bind! Early.
Free kick England.
Early from red.
Chance to go. Long floating ball for Clark, and she just wants to try and get on the outside arc. Did really well, combines then with Shilliker. Wales tried to get in and wrestle that away, but they're not going to. Oh, what a take. Just avoided the drop and the juggle from else then McDougall. Just cutting back off the right peg. That was good from Langford. And she's involved again. And now Bennett. And Bennett straightens. Perhaps the ball needed to go. Oh, and it's just been lost forwards.
England do look really dangerous though when they get to that width, and you've got to say for the amount of possession that they've had, yes, okay, a couple of handling errors have crept in, but in general their willingness to play, and they do look to get it wide, and link play has been really good. So I think an impressive performance from that side. So some good carrying, as you said, maybe did it have to go, but actually on the floor here all safe.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Big England shove once more. They are marching the Welsh back. They've done remarkably well to use it, but then the loose ball on the floor. Is this going to result in the score for Moulton? Oh, she's found the floor. She's found the try. But one of the smallest players on the pitch gifted the loose ball, and Sophie Moulton gets what might be England's last score of the game.
Yeah, really good spot from her as well, because you have to be quick to see that and to read the game, and that's what all good nines do. They need to be one step ahead of everybody else, but it's a lovely spot of where it was, and then pick, and she's got to be strong here as well to wrestle her way over. So really good finish from the replacement 9. And there it is, a good angle there. She's still got 5 metres to go with 2 defenders on her. Like, she's really working well there, Moulton.
She wasn't even pushed over by too many colleagues either. That was well driven of her own weight to the ground to get the score. Conversion effort from McDougall is good. And that brings around the final whistle from the referee. England scoring 7 tries against Wales in this under-20s performance. A convincing victory in the end. And the tries coming from a good combination of forwards and backs, but certainly they found a little bit more width for the likes of Schilliker to score a hat-trick. But Cat Merchant, that will dispel those concerns they had after that French defeat a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I think after, you know, a big defeat like that, you learn as a squad, and they obviously have, and they've fixed some things, and they've put them into play today, because Wales came out fighting. They weren't a side that they made England a good solid performance there from an England side.
And the Welsh, they had one game against the Army. They didn't have another game before that. They've talked about the fact that it's at the end of this block for them. What did you make of their performance and perhaps what they can build on?
Yeah, I think they've got some really talented players in that, and you know, gelling as a squad, it takes time, and as we said kind of before, England have had a youth set up for a lot longer, so Wales new into it, but it's exciting to see where this side can go, because yeah, some talented players. We mentioned a name, Hing, but also De Vera as well, the captain, I thought good, and there's some good work rate in the pack as well, so some really good plays.
And a continued display of actually where the skill levels are for these two under-20s sides, and actually where the growth is. Not a huge number of years ago that perhaps the skill level wouldn't have been at the heights that we've managed to see this afternoon. Sure, a few drop balls and a few knock-ons and a few not quite precise passes, but as I leave you to run people through the highlights in a minute, I think that's one of the things that we're really seeing in the development of age grades as they come through.
Yeah, and it's the reading of the game as well, and like that kick in when the options are on and going across, and that's only because girls are starting playing rugby so much younger, so they're getting those skill sets through, and you can really see that in the game today. So then Nick is going to head down shortly to get hold of Steph Elsa, the captain, to get her thoughts on the game as well, and then we're going to get another view of those tries now. So there's Else working really hard on that initial carry, and then it's the support play, that clear out, vital in going across, and then we've got the show and go across to score as well for the first opener for England. And again, another angle of it, and Else just really good leg drive across from it there. And it's Battersill, who has also got everywhere today, really good. She gets her name on the scoreboard for that one, but worked really hard throughout this game. And then on to the second try. So another forward effort to start with after they had tried to get it wide a fair few times in there. But a really good Calendine finish. Good carry, stayed low, drived really well for her team and got over the score. And had to be said that Wales defending really hard, and they did manage to hold a few of these up, but that one there not able to hold it up. And then Wales come back with a really nice bit of flair play that really seemed to lift them. Hing there, lovely offload off the floor, but it was Williams who goes over. She held her width really well, stayed confident that her teammates were going to be able to get her that ball, and that England defence had just shortened up. And then from this angle you can nicely see that offload, that step from Hing, the offload off the floor, and then the quick hands and the ability to get it wide. And you can just see Williams is only a metre away from the touchline there, so really holding her width. And then England opening up again. Hyatt not able to get the ball away the first time. Wales getting in, and then it's just a simple one-on-one out wide there for Schilliker, who got herself in some good places today and ended up getting herself a hat-trick. But you've got to be there, so good width. Manages to get herself deep again so she hasn't overrun it, and then hands out wide. And a finish there. And good hands out here. It was fantastic defence from Singleton to tackle higher there, and then good hands across for England though to score in the corner again. So really good from them, keeping their patience, keeping their composure. Nice play here. And a good finish there again for the angle. So we've actually managed to get player of the match down there with Nick Heath. So we're going to throw down there and you can see her thoughts on the game. Over to you, Nick.
Well, thank you very much, Kat. And as you can see, I am with the England player of the match, Steph L. Steph, I'm going to lean forward and give you a bottle of Bollinger, which is better than some player of the match. How did you see that one out there, first of all? Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a great game. I think it's a great game. I think we really brought it, and we brought the intent. I think we've wiped the slate clean after the France game, and yeah, we've really dug in for that one.
Yeah, it certainly looked like that was the case, and that focus over the course of the week on set piece, particularly scrum. I mean, it was such a dominant area, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. We've done a lot of work on that. Even our line-outs as well. I think we've improved so much from the France game.
Now, over the course of the season, obviously you've been playing at Gloucester Hartpury, and there's a number of your club colleagues out there as well. Yeah. Some players who don't have that opportunity, but actually, what does this England under-20s environment do in terms of developing your careers, giving you more exposure at a different sort of level?
Definitely. I think it really helps you gel with players that aren't at your club and work around with different players, and yeah, it's just really nice.
Excellent. Now, we know it's a very professional atmosphere these days, but will you allow yourself a sip or two of that with a couple of teammates?
Maybe just one, sir.
Maybe just one. Well, Steph, congratulations. You are our player of the match, and I think we've got LJ Lewis here who's going to pop in. So I'll ask you to hand the microphone over and step into our karaoke booth, please, LJ. That's super. Job done.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that one?
I'm super proud of the girls. Definitely the things we talked about in the week have come out. The ultimate competitor piece, we definitely saw them all have moments of that, and the areas that we worked on our physicality and our scrum and our execution at our line out, which obviously allows us to play. So yeah, really proud of the girls and a great platform to move forward.
7 tries all in all, and certainly there was performances up front that were giving you the platforms, and then I was joking with Kat Merchant in commentary that a winger's not given a fellow winger who scored a hat-trick the try, but certainly the player of the match, but certainly in handing it to Steph Else, perhaps exemplified the work that the forwards were doing there.
Yeah, I think just on Steph, everything you saw of her today, she did against France, and it's just really great to see her backing up consistent performances in the Roses shirt, and then getting the reward of the rightly so player of the match. She's just a great leader for the girls to follow. Just her actions alone are perfect.
Excellent. So where does the under-20s programme go from here? Of course, we're waiting for the confirmed announcement next week, but we were saying in commentary, we know there's going to be these Six Nations matches that are coming up in the summer, so I guess you've got a little bit more prep time once you get the girls back together after the end of the season.
Yeah, we got two camps to lead us into our Six Nations, and yeah, all the girls will come in. We've got a few selection decisions. We can't take all of them. So yeah, there's a couple of competitive moments to happen in training still, and we'll see who comes out on top. But yeah, really looking forward to getting them back together as a whole squad and moving towards our Six Nations.
Well done for getting back on the bus and getting the victory this afternoon in front of a decent load of fans. We really appreciate your time, LJ. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask Lisa Burgess to come in and join us. Thank you, LJ.
Done you.
Lisa, commiserations. I'll just make sure that we've got you on frame. Okay. Commiserations, but certainly plenty of opportunities from that Welsh squad, and although at times England were able to find those edges and get around, actually there were huge periods of that match where the Welsh red wall was proving pretty difficult to knock down.
Yeah, I mean, defensively they were outstanding today. But for us, this is a game after 10 sessions together. So, we've got to take, there's a lot of positives to take. Our intent to play was really good. We had to suck up a lot of attack in the first half there, but then when we did get the opportunities, we showed what we can do. So for us, it's, the end of the block one after those 10 sessions, like I said. We move now to a conditioning phase, and then we're really excited about what block two can bring.
Yeah. absolutely. And who impressed you today? What parts of the Welsh structure did you think looked pretty well oiled?
Well, I just think it was that ability when we got the ball in open play to actually, offload, pass the ball. That was really exciting for me. And when we made some line breaks, there's lots of learnings we're going to take away from this. We've got players transitioning as well into different positions. So it was a real learning experience today. And for us, that was our first real hit out as a 23. So, like I say, great intent to play from the girls. Lots of positives, lots to work on. But then we're in the pathway, and that's what we're building to. So exciting phase that we're coming into now.
Yeah, you're going to have a busy few weeks ahead of you, ahead of that little trip to Palma in July. That doesn't sound too bad.
No, it's really exciting what we're building up to now. So I'm sure there's going to be a big announcement next week about that. But yeah, block 2 for us is huge. And then, we've got exciting time then after that as well for the under-20s and our under-18 programme. So in terms of the pathway, the evolution, development of these girls, it's huge. So we'll have more contact time with them now as we build up into that phase 2 as well.
Excellent. Well, Lisa, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Great to finally meet you at last, by the way. And we wish you the very best of luck with the programme as you head towards the summer.
Thank you very much. Lovely to meet you as well. After all these years.
Thank you, exactly. And as we let Lisa Burgess go, well, just a chance to reflect on what was a dominant performance by England, but certainly, as Lisa Burgess says, from a Welsh perspective, plenty of things for them to be able to take away from this as well. It is so much more about everything rather than winning and losing at under-20s level. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage from Cat Merchant and from myself this afternoon. It's a very goodbye.